Hello! In this video we're going to make a barrow, some standing stones and a little stone altar. What's going to look like when it's done. You'll be able to get inside the barrow and the altar will go in there. I'm also going to make some standing stones and just a little stone altar-y thing. This, bizarrely or not, is pretty much made using the same technique as a more wholesome and happy project, the Hobbit hole. You can see in there, looks pretty cool. Yeah, so it's pretty much made in the same way as the Hobbit hole, just with a lift up lid and some inside and doing the inside. So rather than listen to me waffle on, let's get creating a barrow. As has already been mentioned, the barrow is going to start out pretty much the same way as the Hobbit hole video. I know, something so wholesome will end up being quite creepy. So it's made from this white foam and we're going to base it on this chipboard, 3mm chipboard. And so just like the Hobbit hole, all we're going to do is I'm going to draw around the I don't want that pen. Where's my pen? Oh, no, green pen. Here we go. So I'm going to draw around attempt to draw around the MDM at the chipboard base, and anything inside this line which you can't see because it's so bright here. Hold on. Okay, hopefully that's better. And yeah, so that's going to be the maximum size our barrow can be. I kind of want it round, and I don't want it evenly round either. So that's kind of a big barrow, it's a foot long, but it's gradually come up. So yeah, that's going to be the bottom one. Let's think like that. Oh, nice. That's barrow size. So, like the Hobbit hole, I'm going to cut 3 of these out, but don't glue them together just yet. We have the 3 pieces cut out, much like we did for the Hobbit hole, but at this stage in the Hobbit hole I'd glued them together before I angled them, but for this I don't want to because it's going to have a removable lid so you can actually get inside the barrow. So what this means is at this stage you have to angle it just by holding it together, which is doable but a little bit tricky. So I'm going to try and go in as is, just making the cut just by holding it. A little bit tricky, but should be doable. Pretty much just like the Hobbit hole. All I'm doing though is making sure I'm holding it rather than gluing it. So I shall carry on cutting and see what it looks like at the end. This is it, all cut out, again not glued. What I have done at the front is left it quite, so I'm getting an angle, left it quite flat. That'll be my entrance piece there coming in here. But apart from that, I've just got to work on the rest of it now. I have to say, in places it was a bit tricky to do because it kept on slipping and sliding and moving as I was cutting it, but getting a nice angle on the top here was easier because I was able just to separate it and get a good angle on this, so that was quite good. But yeah, let's get to the next stage. The next actual stage for the barrow is I want to get the entrance made, so that's just going to be sort of a bit of stone here, effectively, a bit of stone here with a slab going along top. So going to make that out of some foam. So it's going to come down and just roughly cut it for now, just to see. To get it roughly in there. Like that. This would be big enough, actually. Probably not going to be big enough, that bit. So, another bit up. Again, you'll notice of this project a lot of eyeballing rather than measuring. That's what I want to do, really, is come down, cut that back here. Make sure this is the same sort of size. Probably actually, I want to carve into it, so I want to there, and that's going to be scrap. Yeah, so work with this bit. Opening entrance. It will sit something like that. Okay. And now, just want to age and roughen up these stones so they're not just square blocks. I'll leave the backs flat like that. Do that, just come in, take off, and leave the top flat as well. I just want to so it looks like that. Do the same for this one. Okay, so we've got the door done. What I want to do now is just sort of put it in place. I'll roughly draw around it roughly where I want it. Very difficult to show you on this, but that's going to be the entrance to our barrow. And from there, remove the lid. I'm going to come in and sort of draw a little tunnel going in. So, and then sort of inside of the barrow. So, and then we're going to cut that out. And when it's done, the lid will sit on top nicely, covering it up. Take that off and get inside. Next up, basing it. So put it on your chipboard, draw around it, at the front here. Just want to, so I'm going to blend that into the grass, and just cut that out. And now we just glue this on to here, glue this on to here, put some weight on it and leave it to dry. Right, it's the stage to use one of my favourite products when working with foam, and that is Modrock. Say this a lot, it's plaster on a roll. You soak it in water for a wee bit, just to loosen up the plaster. Shake off any excess, and just let's go that way. Just put it over your terrain piece, and then just come along with your finger and rub in the plaster so it fills in all the holes, like so. You don't have to worry about doing inside, because we're going to cover that in sand a bit later on. Just come along and cover the outside. And what this will do is this will form a nice rock hard surface and protect the foam, which is kind of what you want with wargaming terrain, because it gets some heavy wear and tear. So I'll carry on with this. Don't forget to do your top as well. You're going to want to cover that in foam core. Of course, let us not forget the doorway stones. The next stage is to get this covered in some modelling sand, which there's a video on the channel showing how to make this just for a couple of quid. It's quite easy. Just gonna, I can cover it in PVA all along the walls on the inside and the floor. I'm gonna get some water, paintbrush, just kind of move that PVA around as quick as possible, because PVA has quite a fast drying time with this stuff I buy. Next up, just get your modelling sand and just pour it in, rotating round. Give it a good shaking off at the end of the process. For now, it's the inside all sanded out. Right, so I've got the painting done. I painted it much the same way as the Hobbit hole made a few episodes back. It's just going to be painted green, but on the inside I've painted the inside brown. The stone doorway was painted grey and then dry brushed in a cream. What I'm going to do now is just on the inside, I'm just going to dry brush it a cream colour. This is called Coastline. And get a brush, just dry brush it on, just to bring out the detail there. So I'm going to get on with that now. Next up, going to flock it. To do this, and cover it in glue, get some flock, put it over, and that's pretty much it really. This is a flock, but it's my own sort of blend over many flocks. It's got Woodland Scenics green blend, got some burnt static grass in there, and it's got some H. Jarvis sawdust flock that gives the I don't know if you can see it there, get my hand out of the way, sort of the lighter yellowy bits in there. Not going to do any coarse or anything like the Hobbit hole, so it's just going to be a case of covering it in glue and flocking. Get some glue. What I'm going to do is get a brush, get some water in it, and just paint the glue over. Will just help it move around and keep it give you a slightly longer working time to get your flocking done. And probably will have to at the end go over a few bits. There'll be patches where I haven't got, but it's pretty much similar process to the Hobbit hole. So if this isn't detailed enough this stage, you can watch that one. Just watch the actual flocking bit, not the coarse turf area. I just don't fancy having coarse turf on this, just want it to be grass. Just effectively come along, block it, shake it off, block it, shake it off. That's pretty much it. It's going to carry on going until I've got it all covered. I'm doing first is concentrating on the edges. Going to be the hardest bit. You can of course just go a bit mental, and if you lay down some paper, newspaper or something, go mental and just flock it all in one go and shake it all off. In one go into the paper, then pour the paper. Use the paper to pour it back into your container. I don't have any paper for some reason. I'm just going to do it the hard way. It'll be a bit wasted on my board, but that's pretty much it. You can see how it's coming on. I'm just going to crack on and do the rest. Pretty much on the home stretch now for the actual barrow itself. It's been flocked, got it painted. What I want to do now is attach the doorway bits we made earlier on. Got these painted as well, just in a grey, and then dry brushed in a cream, so dawnstone and usapi bone, so that kind of thing. I'm going to glue these here, so probably something like that. So they're going to go on the main bit. Now at the top, I'm actually going to glue to this. I've made it flat here when I was building it, if you can see that. I'm going to glue this to the top. This will means when it lifts up, it will lift up like so, and it also tell me easily what is the front of the on the piece. So I'm going to just glue those in with glue and let them dry. To glue this, I'm actually going to apply the glue to the lid itself, I think. And here. Hopefully. Yeah, that'll do. Next up, I'm going to make a altar table for inside. Right, next up, going to make a sacrificial altar table type thing. For this, making it a foam core, going to need a bit that is 1 inch wide and 1 3/4 long, and 2 bits that are 1/2 inch by 1/2 inch. What you're going to do, cut those out, come along with your knife and just sort of roughly go round the edge, rounding off the corners. I want this to look worn, so you can be a bit rough with it. Like so, and then just come in and take bits out of the edges here, just so it's not super nice and right angling, if that makes any sense. Probably doesn't. I never make any sense. There, something like that. Yeah. Get rid of these. Come in with your 2 bits, and we're just gonna glue them to the bottom. Again, don't worry about getting them dead straight, because it's meant to be just bits of stone that have been put together to form the altar. Like so. Might want to space them out so you don't get any tipping. This is where the hobbit's going to be put to be sacrificed. Like so. The table's been painted in grey. It's going to be painted the same way as the doorway to the actual barrow itself. So it's this, it's called Storm Cloud, but you can think of it as Dawnstone from Games Workshop. And this is cream, and see if you can use usapi bone. And it'd be easier if my cat wasn't in the way so you could see what I'm doing. But we build with cats around here. I'm just going to sort of dry brush it. Not too. Mainly concentrating on the outside. you know, just something like that. Not too worried about the underneath necessarily, not going to see that too much. Make sure I get the edges. It's all I'm kind of more interested in. So it'll just be that kind of thing, and I'll just get put inside one of them. Next up, it's the actual standing stones itself. I'm going to make. To make the standing stones, you can use this. This is extruded polystyrene, blue stuff. It's quite expensive, and I tend to only use this sort of stuff if I'm going to be leaving the outside as it is and maybe screwing a pattern into it. But for this, we're going to be cladding it in mod rock later on, so you can get away with just using this stuff, which is the much more cheaper alternative white stuff, just than standard packaging stuff. In fact, you can even use some sort of packaging bits that you get, some, you know, bits of scrap. So we're going to make a standing stone. For this, we're going to need the hot wire cutter, and there's no point in measuring anything. You can just use a model. So I'm going to use a roughing just for get the overall size of it. So I want it to be quite a big one. So for this, we're just going to come along here. Helps if I turn it on. Brilliant. Like so. So now all we're going to do is just get it to look a bit stone-like. For this, you're just going to carve chunks away. Alright. I don't know if anyone's ever been to standing stones before. I've been to quite a few. Some in the country I live, such as Stonehenge, seen those. Some in Brittany's. Carnac has some standing stones. And I also live quite near something called Kit's Coty, which has a standing stone. So all we're just trying to do on this is just make small cuts just to get rid of any right angles. We want this to look natural as possible, or I say natural, as man-made as possible, but not modern man-made. Got some. That was at the bottom when I was holding it. Yeah, so this is quite simple. And it's just a case of chopping it until you're happy. There's not a lot to it really on this. Like so. Get some more made. As with the rest of the barrows that have had foam, the standing stone is no different. They're going to get a covering in mod rock. They are stones and I want them to be rock hard. So it's going to come in. Top's going to be well solid. And once it dries, it actually gives it a nice stone texture. Painting and stuff would be brilliant. Painted standing stones now, just giving it an undercoat of bone blade brown, just to get this sort of off brown. And now I'm going to come in with some cream and sort of just dry brush over, just to sort of pick out. You can see that. Just to pick out the raised bits of it, and that'll do. I think that'll do for this. For painting, I might add a bit of flock on for a bit of moss in a minute. Something like so it ends up looking something like that, which is a great colour. So it's a sort of browny grey is what I'm after. Yeah, I like that. Good colour. Do all the others, and I'm going to add a bit of sort of yellow flock in places as that sort of lichen moss that sort of grows on them. I'll do the others. Once I've done those, we'll just add a bit of a flock on. Now they're all painted, we're just going to add bits of this flock in. This is like a greeny yellow mixture flock, which I quite like, so I'm not going to put any thought into it. It's going to come in with my try and get it on more raised bits, I guess, but I mean, it doesn't have to be the mega heavy out of glue. I'm just going to come in something like this. Try not to get it on the sprinkle it on. And just leave that to dry. Okay, this is it done. I've had to move the camera down here for this kind of angle so you can see it all. I'll give you a quick overview. And yeah, forgive me, I'm just going to move the camera around. So you've got the standing stones, the entrance here. I don't know, put some more standing stones on the top if you want. Cat biscuits, no cat. That's amazing. Yeah, and what you can do is you can remove the standing stones from the top, lift it up, and then inside you got your water in there to sacrifice some hobbits or whatever game you play. Yeah, pleased with that. Alright guys, that's it. Until the next guide, thanks for watching. Yeah, if you enjoyed this, share it, let people know about this channel, and yeah, like the video, leave some comments, get a discussion going. Anyway, till next time guys, take care.